Good evening, everyone. I'm sure each of you has a favorite piece of clothing. Sweater, t-shirts, pair of jeans, or maybe something you've worn so many times it practically feels like a second skin. But have you ever stopped to think about all the hands, minds, and processes behind that piece of clothing? Today, I would like to take you on a little journey into the world of clothing manufacturing, a fascinating process filled with creativity, precision, and teamwork. This is not just about fabric and thread. It's about the people and the skills. From the initial concept to the finished garment, there are countless steps involved, and each one has its own expert dedicated to making sure the clothes we wear look and feel just right. So let's dive into the journey of how our clothes are made. This shows a simple process of how clothes are made. Start with development, design, and purchase all the fabric and trims and notions, and stitch them up in factories, ship to warehouse first, and go to the shopping mall. Pretty much the same as any other product. It depends on company's brand size, but most of them we have 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Summer and winter are mostly bigger than spring and fall. These 4 seasons, we developed this collection of seasons a year advance. So let's say you went to Eaton Center last weekend and saw this jacket on a store. If this jacket is under new arrivals, which means this is in 2024 winter collection. And we developed this jacket in October 2023. Every season has normally like 100, it depends on company, but normally 100 piece styles of designs. So to develop this whole 100 designs, it takes 2-3 months to work on that. So this one is one of these 100 style of winter collections. Once it's done, we order the fabric, trims, and zipper snaps, whatever, in January 2024, sent to the factory. And the factory started sewing during May, June, July, whole summer with whole 100 styles by thousands to thousands of pieces. And everything should be in the warehouse by end of September. So the store can have winter collections start October. So you can have the jacket. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this job title, merchandiser. When a new season starts, merchandiser is the first person starting their roles. They analyze consumer preference and market trends, and they determine what kind of product we developed. Many people think that's fashion designer's job. Yes, if company is very small, then designers do all the jobs. But if company is big, that's not a designer's job, that's merchandiser's job. And designers involved, but most structure for what kind of product we have to develop is merchandiser's job, and then designers make details on that. And merchandiser, they do pricing. How they do pricing? They start from retail price. So let's say this jacket. If you see this jacket price tag, if it says $1,000, and merchandiser decide, okay, we can sell this jacket for $1,000. Then the cost should be between 25 to 30%. So then cost is under $300. It includes all the fabric, trims, notions, labors, sewing, packaging, inspection, even tax. Everything should be in there. There's a lot of argument. Designers want to use expensive fabric, and merchandiser says, no, we can't, because cost is not. So this pricing is merchandiser's job. And then finally, fashion designers. So based on merchandiser's structure, they make details. They choose the fabric, trims, and all the details, and they sketch what they want to make. So like this, I want to make this dress, and this is drawing, the stylish drawing. This is technical sketches to share everyone after that, like sewers, pattern makers. We have to know how the garment look like. And we make samples like this. And then we have pattern makers. That's me. That's my job, where my expertise is. So when designers decide what kind of garment they want to make, then I make patterns like this. We make these patterns with paper and pen like a long time ago. When I started my career, we used pen and paper to make these patterns. But now most companies make patterns with computers. So I make like this. So this is an example. If designer wants to have this dress, that's the pattern that I made. But when I make this pattern, we don't have this sample because we are developing. So they have only technical sketch, and I make this one, and then we can make this dress. If designer wants to have this jacket, I make this pattern, and we can make this jacket. See, this all the front and back, sleeves, all the small plackets, pockets, colors, linings, crazy a lot. So we make this, and we can. I have so much fun doing this for my life's job. Okay, so designer determine the design, and I make the pattern. Then we make sample. Sample makers should be a little bit different than sewers in a large factories, because they have to understand all the patterns. If they are given this kind of patterns with fabric, they have to cut, and they should know where it should go with where and how to stitch them to make this. So normally, sample makers should be very knowledgeable about pattern and like fabric reactions things. So they cut the fabric with pattern, and they sew them, and they make the finished garment. Then we have fitting. I said for one collection, seasons, we make hundreds of styles. So we do this every day to see if the fit is okay. So during the fitting, designers, merchandisers, pattern makers, sample makers, production managers, and development specialists, we all are in the same room with a live model, and then put on the samples on the live model, and we assess and evaluate the sample. So designers evaluate if the sample is what they like, or I want to change I want pocket to be bigger, I want lapel to be smaller, all that kind of design stuff. And I normally see if there is any technical issues, like sewing issues, or if the lining is too short, somewhere it's pulling, or there is sometimes fabric react different ways, even if we make the same things. Then I advise them, because the fabric, we have to change the sewing method, or you have to the designers, you have to give up this design because it's not going to work this way or something. We discussed all these things, more than 100 styles of this. Sometimes, very luckily, first sample is approved, gone. Sometimes we have to make second sample, third sample, sometimes eighth sample, ninth samples for one style of the garment. So, okay, we are done. We approved all the styles for the collection. Then, procurement specialist involves. So, they source the fabric, trims, notions, buttons, snaps, like all the things by units. Because for one style, if we make 1,000 of them, how many buttons we need? How many fabric we need? Lining we need? So we calculate this and they order the fabric. Sometimes we purchase the fabric already exists, then it doesn't really take long. But many times we have to order the fabric and the mill has to weave and dye from scratch. Then it takes like 3-4 months sometimes, depending on the quantity. Because of that, we need to order in advance, that I said in the very beginning. We have to order the fabric very early, at least 7-8 months before we want to have an actual garment. So we order this. While mill is making the fabric and the notions and trims are being prepared, that's also my job to grading the patterns. So pattern grading is a process to create different sizes of the style. So when we make a sample, we need just one size for the model. But once it's approved, we need all different sizes. So if our sample is medium, we need small, extra small, large, extra large. For women's, if we make sample for size 4, we need 00, 02, 4, 6, 8, a lot of sizes. So we make all these sizes ready for the production. And then make markers. We call this markers. By sizes, by styles, we put this all the pieces we need in small area, which is, this is the fabric width we are gonna use. And we make this marker, then cutters in the factory, they can cut this. The key point of making marker is saving fabric, minimizing fabric waste. Can you imagine if we waste 10 centimeters of fabric and make 10,000 pieces? It's huge money for the company. So this is a really skilled job also to make markers without wasting the fabric. Then the factory has a long cutting table. It's like 15, 20 meters long tables. So they place the fabric like this, whatever they need, depending on the marker length, 60, 80 layers, like this much height. And then on top of this fabric, they put the marker that we made before and cut exactly the lines. Then we have a bunch of front pieces, back pieces, sleeve pieces. We are going to have a lot of pieces and can start sewing. So this is big factories landscape. Small factories have like 5 to 7 people in one line. But for the big factories, normally has more than 20 people in one line. And we call this line work. And from the beginning, if somebody starts to stitch side seam, she only stitched side seam and pushed to the next person. She sew only the sleeve and push the next person, stitch colors to the next person, stitch the pocket, something like this. So when the garment starts, when we start, it's all piece of fabric. After this whole lines, the garment, complete garment is out. And then ship to warehouse. So by season, ship to warehouse, everything is going to warehouse. And finally, it's the store. We can go to shopping. I hope this little journey gives you a new appreciation for the clothes we wear every day. Behind each piece is a team of skilled people all working to bring a vision to life. So next time you slip on your favorite jacket and shirt, remember the journey it took to get you. Thank you.